batten down the hatches and dig out your storm shorts. Apparently, we're in for it again today.
Storm shorts. I like that.
And we'll be back right after this. I'll have to admit, I didn't actually look at the weather forecast this morning. I'm relying on what I saw yesterday afternoon that says there's going to be thunder boomers.
Tonight,
I think
right?
tonight.
I thought this afternoon they were coming.
Oh, maybe.
But, yeah.
I think it's
Ron,
going
let
to be
us
here
know
tonight.
if you're watching,
Yeah.
or knowing that you're watching.
If the shorts are out and ready to go.
Yes, that's all we need to know.
We have a storm. Is it a shorts watch or a shorts warning?
Shorts watch.
Shorts are on the bed. It's a shorts
They're
watch.
prepared.
If they're on our body, it's a shorts warning.
That's true.
That's the way it goes.
That's hilarious. That's been a stormy season.
It has.
It's been very- I
compared to
think-
last year or
Delayed
two.
though, right? Like it was
Yeah.
kind of a dry April. and
very
now it's been a
dry.
very wet May and
Yep.
lots of storms. And
Maybe I think
My-
we're in El Nino.
my brother lives over in Oklahoma City. and
Ay, ay.
I got the word from him that he and his daughter are safe, and the big tornado that went through there lifted before it got to their house. I mean, they were literally in the path.
Oh my
and-
goodness.
Yeah, so they were in. Their
I feel
shelter.
for those states. They've really
Why would
got
you
the
live there?
they've got the
That's-
crap beat out of them. I don't know.
You picked it. You know,
Yeah, you
it's
picked it. What are you
living
doing?
there voluntarily.
Yeah.
In a trailer.
And
In a trailer.
It's something about the soil in most of Oklahoma. It's you can't really build a basement, if I understand.
Yeah,
right.
it's a lot
Really?
of slab houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of slab houses.
Yeah.
That's
Probably
my
should be
understanding.
building basements around here, if we're honest about it. With
Our problem with basements here
Karst
is they just
topography.
like to be
Yes.
wet. That's our problem with basements
Every
here.
student in Southwest Missouri learned the term
Karst.
topography.
Yes.
Karst topography.
We have
K-A-R-S-T.
caves.
If you don't know, ask a youngster.
Yeah.
I
Fill you in on our limestony karsty.
I love trying to explain sinkholes to people who are not from here
Yeah.
because, you know,
Cave we haven't found yet.
it's just like, okay, so it's a sinkhole. It's not going to eat your house.
Yeah.
But it's scary, and I've seen
But there
pictures.
could be a lake underneath your house.
And I'm like,
it might eat their house.
but it's
might eat
not.
your
It's
house.
probably not going to eat your house.
Probably not
I mean,
Probably not.
that only happens once in a blue
it's
moon.
that or a tornado. One of the two.
One of the two. But people have a very fear about sinkholes that are not really based in fact. You know what I mean? It's like,
there should be a disaster movie about sinkhole. Like it just like starts.
surprised there hasn't been.
Like
How has there not been that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I
Next on
remember
Planet
in
417,
third grade,
coming soon.
we had to write a book and illustrate it, and then it was bound together. It was like this whole thing about how you do it. Anyway, but I remember that was what my book was about was this guy falling into a sinkhole and he found treasure in the
Sweet.
that was and so
Yeah.
I remember
find it.
making the illustration of this guy falling into this
Let's
sinkhole.
convert
So
it.
to go with the legend,
Yeah.
of
We'll
how
convert it
this
to
works.
a screenplay.
Like a whole,
I
like,
was scared as a third grader.
of sinkholes.
9 years old, I was scared to death.
It's kind of like I always thought quicksand was going to be a much bigger problem.
Yeah,
than
We all
it
did.
Turned out to be.
We all did.
Yeah.
Well, it was in the video games and
Yeah.
and
I
Pitfall
really-
movies,
That was the game.
Pitfall, yeah.
I really thought I was going to run across that at some point in my life.
and it still might happen. Let's not You
I
know.
mean,
Apparently, you're more likely to die from exposure or dehydration than you. Like, it's not going to suck you under and drown. You're just going to get stuck there. You can't get out, and someone's going to come along and eat you.
yeah.
Ugh.
Vultures come and
Yeah.
start.
That's
Yeah.
not
your
the way
eyeballs
I
out.
want to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, you're not going to drown in it.
Yeah.
That's apparently you reach. There's a buoyancy point
You just get stuck.
that you just get stuck and you can't get out, and then you
You're
just
just
die.
ugh.
You're like, hey,
I guess I'm going to die.
anybody?
here.
No, I don't
Hello?
think anybody's watching
Hello?
us today. Have they given up on us?
Well, I saw that Shauna said I've got mine says 4 viewers
Oh.
over here.
Any word
so
from Beth?
We've got a couple.
Beth?
Beth,
Beth?
So-
Beth?
are you okay?
Avery.
Anybody.
Are you out there, Avery?
Anybody.
Avery's on the girls' soccer team, and she something about.
She loves our show. It's her
said
favorite thing.
Well, I said something the other day, and I said, "Well, I've got a voice for radio, or I've got a face for radio."
Face
is
for
what
radio.
yeah, and she didn't get that reference.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yes.
she goes, "Do you do a podcast?" I'm like, "Well, every Tuesday I'm on the Waffle."
Yeah.
And so she was
We
talking
have
about
someone.
Suzanne.
Good morning.
Hey, Suzanne.
Yeah.
So she was saying on the bench last night, like, I'm going to watch the Waffle tomorrow.
Okay.
What are you going to talk about? And I said, Avery, it's called the Waffle.
We don't
I
know.
have no idea. She goes,
We
wait,
waffle.
you guys don't plan it at all? I'm like,
No.
it wouldn't be the Waffle.
Now Shauna's
No.
scared. She wasn't afraid of sinkholes. But now
You
now
should
she
be.
is.
And out there where you live, you should be very afraid.
See. Oh man, I got a tickle in my throat. No, I mean we couldn't be more less prepared for this.
Well, here's a topic.
How would you prepare?
Here's a topic. The varsity LR soccer
Yes.
girls. 3 district titles in a row
Holy
last night.
guacamole!
We put it to Clinton 3-0. It was pretty awesome.
That's
So
wonderful.
We'll travel to Moberly on Saturday.
Moberly.
We'll get up early, travel there, play a game. I don't know if it's set yet, 1 or 2 p.m.
That's
probably.
one of the burbs, right? Is
It's just north of Columbia.
okay. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
It's-
yeah. I knew it was in my.
That's
circle
exciting.
Somewhere I'd been sort of one place. There's Sue. Good morning, Sue.
So hopefully we'll win that one and go on to the Final Four, which would be great. I mean,
Yeah.
we've never in boys or girls history ever gone to the Final Four until this fall.
yes.
So if we went twice in 1 year, it'd be pretty
That's
sick.
wonderful.
I mean, big game on Saturday. Obviously, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but
That's very exciting.
that's the aim. That's the goal.
That's the goal. That's the
All puns intended.
enchilada.
All puns intended.
Yep.
For sure.
And it's the last day of school.
And speaking of goals,
yeah.
my goodness, Maddie Lou Schubert is our scoring phenom. She's a freshman.
Yeah.
And last night, she had tied it last Thursday.
Yeah.
But last night, she broke the record for goals scored by a freshman.
That's a
74 goals.
whoa.
For perspective, my son, as a senior, set the school record for goals in a season
Yeah.
at ROG at 48.
Oh, wow.
That's so the
Wow.
boys' record's
Wow.
48 goals in a
Holy
season. She has
crap.
74 goals. She's a handful.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really incredible.
Oh, that's a lot of goals.
That
For
well,
sure.
that tells us that there should be some continual good team
The future
stuff.
looks good.
The future is bright.
Yeah.
That's the words I was
Sure.
trying to
And
get out.
the
and
other
they
goal
didn't come out.
scorer last night, she had 2. The other one's also a freshman.
Get your T-shirts
That's amazing.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, yep, future's bright.
that's cool. That's very exciting.
Proud of these kids. Great team through and through. Great group of seniors all the way through, and so
That's
it's
wonderful.
it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and it's the last day of school.
day of
So it's
Woohoo, half
we're-
day.
Half day. That's
You
happening.
didn't know that, and you have kids.
You better go figure
your
out how to
heads
pick
up.
them up.
Carline's coming
They-
a little sooner. Like
up.
you might want to go ahead and get in Carline.
You know,
It's time.
we
Just-
talked
just
about
drop them off and circle around.
Yeah.
Right in the back.
we talked about FOMO a couple weeks ago with feeling like you've missed out for your kids, but kids probably really don't have that great of a memory and they're not traumatized as much
Right.
as you think they are.
Right.
If you do forget to pick them up on the last day of school, they probably would remember that
remember
for the
that.
rest of their lives.
But they're resilient.
I mean, they'll be fine.
yeah.
but
They'll bounce right back.
they'll give you crap about it.
Yeah.
They'll bounce
as
right
an
back.
older,
It'll be-
Yeah.
as a
Be
my
positive.
kids do still point out those very few times that I was late to pick them up. And I'm like, you don't know what I grew up in. Miss Vicky, who knew where she was to get her kids. I'm not saying anything, Mom.
I was left at church once.
Oh yeah, I was left multiple places. Somebody brought me home one time. They're like, "Oh, we found this one. Here you go."
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Peter called us one time. We'd left him home.
He's like, "Hello."
Hey guys.
It was probably a text.
Hello?
He was old enough. We're just like, just stay there.
You're fine.
He didn't want to go anyway.
You need a snack.
Where we were going.
Oh, that would have just been my dream as a kid. Like,
He
sweet.
doesn't,
I'm playing.
he doesn't even remember. So
I'm playing Nintendo, and I'm going to just
Yeah.
eat whatever I want out of the fridge.
dialed in.
With
Oh.
my
Hey,
hand.
there's Beth.
Beth,
Beth's
good
here.
to see
Hey.
Thanks for
you. Better late than never.
I was really worried about you, Beth.
Okay, I shared a meme on social media and it got some comments.
Got some
And
traction.
so were you guys did you grow up in what I like to refer to as an ingredient household or a snack household? And I'll define.
Yes, I know exactly where you're
Ingredient household is where you have no
can't eat that. Do not touch
pre-prepared.
this.
Well, yeah, like you have no pre-prepared food. There's no chicken nuggies. You'll have like peanut butter and stuff, but you have the components to make food.
Right.
And then in a snack household, you've got frozen pizzas, chicken nuggies, ready to eat snack food, and like in ingredient households, you're not going to find much chips.
Yep.
Or
We
like
were an
granola
ingredient
bars.
household
You could
through
make
and
your own granola bars. In the snack household, you got granola bars. Which ones were you all?
I think I would have to say the same.
ingredient.
I was very much an ingredient
Yeah.
household.
So if I wanted to eat something, it's summer. I'm home alone.
You gotta make it.
I'd get out all the stuff and make something.
You're making a sandwich.
I had to make something. It was nothing pre-made. If I went to the freezer and found like a frozen pizza, that was like finding
The Holy Grail.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you would open the freezer door and a light would shine down.
And you're like, when did we get a frozen pizza?
And then I would be like,
Is it-
I wonder if
is
I'm
it-
allowed to
Can
eat
I
this.
eat
Somebody's
that?
Am I allowed to eat this?
Yeah.
Birthday coming?
Can I
Yeah,
eat
yeah,
that?
right. This is a special occasion. Yeah, no, I learned to cook because if I wanted to eat, I was going to have to cook myself
Yeah,
something.
same. And like my
Prepare
friends would
something.
come over and they'd be like, we had a pantry next to our fridge, and they'd be like, "What do you have to eat?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Let me go look." And I'd open it, and I'm like, "Well, we've got some like Ritz crackers and American cheese. You want that?"
A blend.
Because other than that, a blend of ingredients and
Yeah.
snacks, there is a
Probably a
hybrid.
little more
I'm sure there's a hybrid. But I was like, we could make spaghetti. Like, I could make a grilled cheese.
You can make spaghetti? Like, how do you grow that?
My friends loved it.
So 3 of us would say we were at an ingredient house. Mm-hmm. Do you remember how awesome it was to
When you
go
went to a
somebody's
snack house?
and it was a snack house, and you went to their
Yes.
pantry and you were just like, "Is this place for real?"
Those
Yeah.
kids always had the coolest toys, too.
Oh my goodness, yes.
There's the correlation
Now,
there.
those kids are horrible human beings today.
Yeah, they
but-
did not fare well.
I'm just kidding.
They have a lot of problems.
Do you know who the snack house is? You and I have a mutual friend.
Okay.
Lacey
Snack-
Stewart, are you watching?
Oh, call her out.
Lacey Stewart, where are you?
Lacey's in everything.
Well,
Let's
yeah.
be honest.
Yeah. So if you've ever been to her house,
Oh, yeah.
her pantry and
not
her,
been in her
it's
pantry,
just
but I've
like
been to her house.
there's just food everywhere, and it's like whatever you want. Whatever you want.
She's both though, because she'll also feed like hordes of people.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So she's a rare hybrid.
Yeah, she is.
Where she's like a
super mom.
normal human that's cool.
I
that
don't think
also
she's
is
normal.
snack
No,
out. No, she's probably
Lacey,
not
you're a
normal.
robot.
She
I know
doesn't think
you
we're
are.
normal either. She's an android. I think she's an android.
She absolutely is.
But
She's the cyborg.
Yeah, total cyborg vibes. I hope Lacey watches this.
I
She'll
hope
get a
she's
kick out of
watching.
this.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, when you went to that friend's house and they opened up their
Oh.
cabinet and like
Candy and
chips fell out.
unlimited cans of soda.
Yeah, and they're like they had a deep freeze with frozen pizzas and
Yeah,
like what other
chicken
like
nuggets
chicken nuggies and like
Totino
frozen dinners,
pizza rolls, and-
bagel
oh my
bites.
Gosh, bagel bites.
You're like, are you guys rich?
Must be rich.
Is that
Suzanne
your
said that's her
house?
house.
Suzanne, I could totally see that being you.
But I am proudly living in the tradition of the ingredient household.
Yeah.
Yes, I've tried to buy some pre-done food. Doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, we're an ingredient household. It's great. I love it.
We were empty nesters for like a week. and
You guys went crazy.
And that was long enough to like when Jack comes back home for 2 weeks, we're like, what happened to our grocery bill? It's out of control already.
For sure.
All it took.
So last night I got back from the district game and came home, and Shayna goes, "Just so you know, I didn't cook." And I'm like, "That's okay.
That's all right.
I'll
That's
figure."
fine.
And I look, I'm a leftovers guy.
Yeah.
I will eat leftovers, and I go, "There's just
Nothing.
nothing." And then I'm like, all the ingredients are like, I don't want to get that involved.
Yeah.
So Sage is big into ramen noodles right now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I
could
whipped
do it.
open a package of ramen,
Yeah.
fried 2 eggs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
found some shrimp, in the freezer. And then found some mixed vegetables in the
Yeah.
freezer, steamed those,
Made yourself a dang old ramen
threw it all
bowl.
in it, and put some red pepper flakes. And it
You
was
gotta
like
kick it up a
it was like
Gourmet.
a
Yeah,
bachelor. It was such a bachelor move. Like
Yeah, it
ramen.
really wasn't.
shrimp-
That was-
well,
That's
yeah.
like- that's
it was
like-
it was bougie.
It was
very
bougie bachelor. Yeah.
But it was it was pretty great, man. Turning ramen into gourmet.
You can turn. I've elevated ramen before.
Yeah,
I have.
excellent.
We usually do have ramen in the house. I will say that.
That's
it's
just a great little.
It's a
is.
staple. It's terrible. I mean, it's basically poison, but it is edible
well,
and tasty.
You need a buffer, right?
Yeah.
Because you ate it all through college.
Yeah.
So you need a good 2 decades to be back into ramen.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, but the way we would make ramen now, like you just did, is a little different than the way we made it in college.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
legit, have you ever just like opened the package, just like eaten the brick,
I've
No.
accidentally
No.
eaten half of a brick of ramen.
eat
No.
it raw?
It's
Eat raw
raw.
ramen.
The
You can
crunchy
do it
noodles
totally
are
Now, I will-
crunchy.
I will say in
good.
college I was that guy that would cook. Like my
Yeah.
roommate was eating just straight up ramen that he made out of his coffee maker.
Yeah.
And I'm over here making fettuccine Alfredo
Fettuccine
with grilled
Alfredo.
chicken and broccoli. And,
Yeah.
And all my roommates are like,
Making your Alfredo
you
from
can eat all
scratch."
that?
What are
I'm
you
like,
doing? What are you
yeah,
doing
I'm
there?
going to eat all. Yeah, no, I did.
Yeah.
I made my Alfredo from scratch.
A little cream.
I've never bought
Parmesan.
jarred Alfredo.
man,
I don't.
didn't get the
don't know.
temp
Oh,
right
Sue's
here.
going to
It's
do
not
something
creamy.
bad. Nothing better than a mayo sandwich and a glass of cold chocolate.
Chocolate milk when I was
All
a
right.
kid.
All right.
I love it.
Yeah. Just eat a slice of American cheese out of the fridge.
You know, you get a saltine and take your
Rubble on
American your cheese and you fold it in 4s, and then it fits perfectly on the saltine.
Oh, yeah.
That's a snack
Yeah,
I've eaten many
absolutely.
times.
Butter,
Yes.
butter on crackers. Butter on
I've
salt-
had butter on a
little butter on
cracker.
a saltine cracker.
And I mean, who could forget the nacho?
I feel like
you
I'm
know?
watching The Price is Right now.
Yeah, you got
It's
a
summer. It's summer.
you got a
in the
brick of
80s.
cheese in there. You got some stale tortilla chips. They're going in the microwave with that cheese. You got microwave
A
nachos.
glass
You know,
of ginger ale.
Heck
yeah.
Man,
So
I'm
much
telling you,
flavor.
It's 1987, and I'm watching Bob
Wish we had
Barker
that
right
little
now.
dream.
Good. Yeah. Was it Wayne's World? We were
Wayne's
like transported back. Oh my gosh.
ABC after school special.
That's good stuff. Oh yeah. And then when you knew I only have a can of tuna, you're like, oh man, it's tuna.
But hey, we also had mayo, and we had a little pickle
Tuna
relish.
salad.
There you
and
go.
We had
Tuna salad.
Yeah, I ate a lot of
Thanks.
tuna salad sandwiches as a kid.
Oh
a
yeah.
whole bunch of those. Good times.
I like to make a good. You make a good chicken salad. I'm a big fan of that.
I like a chicken salad. Yeah.
Little some apples in there and some
Chicken
pecans.
salad with just dip some chicken and biscuit cracker in that.
I haven't had chicken and biscuit cracker in a long time.
man, I'm telling
Talk
you.
about a flavor
I'm a
bomb.
little
That is a
addicted to
flavor
the
bomb.
nut thins now.
Those are good. They're tasty.
More healthy.
Little tasty. They have maybe some sustenance to them.
Really tasty.
Someone recently, I grew up on Ritz crackers. That was our thing, and somebody
Ritz?
told me recently that they're like toxic. That like they're the most poisonous, terrible
That
thing.
ain't butter on
They're
that.
Ritzy.
No, they're like
that's
there's
fancy.
like a top 5 worst foods on the planet, and like Ritz crackers
A lot of butter.
are in there, and
Yeah,
that's
it's not real butter.
disappointing.
Yeah, it's just-
No, and they're like like they're made of chemicals, basically. Like I'm like, man,
Isn't it?
I like Ritz crackers.
isn't
I mean, it's got to be healthier than Popeyes.
Popeyes.
Maybe.
Popeyes, you remember
Popeye.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's literally Popeyes in the freezer right now.
Nice.
Jack
It's
brought 'em
probably
home. He's
been
like,
there
I brought
for
home
20 years.
popsicles, and we're like,
Frozen
didn't
chemical.
they melt? He's like, oh no, they're the Otter Pops, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
They can
oh.
melt. They'll go right back. It's fine.
Yeah,
They're fine.
It's antifreeze anyway.
They're fine.
it is. It's
Something that's never expired is what
No,
it is.
it's
Antifreeze.
fine.
loved them.
That's all it is. Is just a little more sugar in that antifreeze.
It's good.
to go.
It's good. Got an extra
stick to
color.
it. Yeah.
And one thing I do regret about, probably not me, it's not my regret, I didn't do it, but the food industry unnecessarily adding color to things, that
Yeah.
probably shouldn't have happened. We
Yeah.
probably shouldn't have done that.
On retrospect,
Yeah, looking back, that we don't need things to be like a naturally orange or blue.
Red.
It's not really necessary.
wasn't the red dye? They blamed everything on there for a while.
Yeah,
maybe.
And there's some
legitimately
people
so.
who still believe that. Yeah, and I don't know enough about
Neurological
it to have an
disorders.
opinion on red dye, but yeah, we probably shouldn't have done that.
Probably shouldn't have.
We should probably cut that out.
Yeah, probably.
It just doesn't make
Let
sense.
things be the color that they are.
Yeah.
Just deal with it.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just that seems natural, So
Well, plating.
plate.
Plating.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
nice on the plate.
They got. I mean, your Mountain Dew doesn't have to be neon. It's just
That's probably.
That's not its natural color.
well, it may be Mountain Dew's natural
I
color.
don't know.
I mean, it comes from the mountains.
doubt it.
I doubt it.
I doubt
yeah.
it, too.
It comes from the mountains.
Yeah,
From the mountains.
It's
Straight
Mountain
from-
Dew.
Straight from a mountain spring.
Mountain Dew, like legit, what that term really means is moonshine.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Mountain Dew. Like if you like old people,
That makes
Mountain
perfect
Dew.
sense.
There's like an old bluegrass song. It's popular. It's called Mountain Dew. It's about moonshine.
How have I never thought about that before?
You just blew my mind.
Yay! My hillbilly came
Did
out.
it.
Made it happen.
Have you guys ever? Never mind.
That was so our international
Not gonna talk about that.
international girls. They've graduated or they're done with school today, and so we've got a girl from Spain, France, and one from
Yes,
Denmark.
yeah.
So it's been fun. I was asking them, so what are you going to do over the next couple weeks? And the girl from Spain, her family's flying in 6 days, and so
That's awesome.
She's bringing me ham ruffles. I listened to a podcast, and these
Okay.
guys in Europe talk about like if they're going to eat crisps, chips. They have different flavors
ham.
in Europe,
Ham flavor.
but not like American ham.
Well, I'm sure.
If you know Spanish,
Oh,
jamon.
it's like Serrano type ham.
yeah. And so these guys in this podcast are always talking about ham on ruffles and how
Ham
like,
on.
they can't get enough of it. And I'm like, so I asked her, I said, have you ever had a ham on ruffles? She goes, no, I don't like crisps. It's like,
Don't like
but do you know what I'm
crisps.
talking about? And she's like, yeah. And I said, I'd love a bag. So her parents are bringing me a bag of ham on ruffles.
Let's go back to the fact she
They
doesn't
have to
eat.
declare
She doesn't
that.
eat
They'll have
chips.
to declare that.
Yeah.
Chips
You know,
don't
Yeah.
eat.
Do you have anything
Food
over
product.
$10,000?
Food product.
Yeah. Anyway, no, it's in a bag. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then the other girl is going to Silver Dollar City, and she's super excited.
Oh yeah.
She
Well,
didn't have any
she should.
context. She was just thinking roller coasters. I said, no, you're going to get to see
No.
Americana.
what
You're
what
be entrenched.
rural Missouri looked like back in the
In some ways still does.
1860s. Yeah, right. And
Yeah,
so
I've come across some silver dollar.
but
City
she had
stuff.
no idea. I'm like, no, this is you're going to get to learn something about the history of this
Yeah.
little corner of the world that you got stuck in for the last 8 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Can you imagine? I always think about that. The international foreign
I'm
exchange
here?
students that come to
I
Southwest
can't decide if
Missouri.
I want to talk about the topic I was going to talk about, which is the crisp flavors we encountered in Beijing, China, or the fact that I recently discovered that there is legit, like on the map, you can find it an Ozarks dialect.
Yeah.
Really?
That is like native to Southwest Missouri, a little bit
That's
of
right.
Kansas, a little bit of Oklahoma, a little bit of Arkansas. It is an Ozarks dialect. There's a it's described
Particular type.
It's not Appalachia. It's
No.
not Southern.
It's colloquial
It's
hillbilly.
not southern.
It is Ozarks dialect.
It is. Yeah, and depending on how far you are down in the holler, how much you hear it.
And one of the distinctives that I remember is I can't remember the exact term, but it is like a predictive A. So like we put a
Like Missouri.
No,
Ugh.
predictive. So it comes before.
Oh my
it's like-
predictive,
it's like
okay.
I'm a going hunting.
I'm a. Gotcha.
Going
Fur.
hunting.
My big thing is I find myself saying fur. Like, let's go. Oh, I'm trying to use the word for now, and I can't use it in a sentence.
So instead of I'm cooking, I'm a cooking.
I'm a cooking.
I'm a cooking.
I'm a cooking.
Yeah, that's an Ozarks
I'm a
dialect
making biscuits and gravy.
artifact. A cooking.
What was your thing?
A swimming.
Fur. Instead of for, I'm trying to
Yeah,
use it in
fur.
a sentence now.
What's that
My
for?
mind is
What's that?
blanking. Yeah.
What'd you get for?
What are we
For
going
what?
to the store for?
Yeah.
Fur. What are we going to the store for?
For what do we?
And I'm like, why do I do that?
What?
It's for. It's
Yeah.
the word for.
Well, as long as you're not spelling it out when you type,
No,
fur.
I'm not doing that.
All right.
Warsh, by the way,
Warsh.
is not Ozarks. It's St. Louis. It's imported.
Warsh.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I farty far. They say that too.
Yeah,
they say
they
farty far.
They carn with a
Quarter. Yeah.
I still contend
We
that
don't do that.
Missouri is the combination. We have St. Louis is East Coast, Kansas City's West Coast, and we are Southern down here. You've got all
Yeah, it all kind
you've got
of-
three regions. You
Yeah.
probably have
Yeah.
some north up there, but nobody's. But
That's probably right.
we
we
are.
really have captured them all right here.
It's hard. It's a bit of a stretch to say Kansas City's West Coast, but
It feels like a Western kind of
Western, not West Coast.
Yeah, Western.
That makes more
maybe I should
sense.
say.
Yeah. A little more plains.
Yes.
I kind of think we're Southern light
Well, and that's for all
because we
these.
are not.
St. Louis is East like. We're
Yes.
Southern like.
Yeah, because I mean, like if so, you drive 2 hours down to Fayetteville.
That's again it. AGIN.
Oh
Agin it.
yeah,
For it or against it, yeah.
Again it,
Or you
yeah.
for it or
Again
it,
against
yeah,
it.
again
fur. Are
Yeah,
you
again,
fur
it
or again it?
Yeah,
Against it.
again it.
Yeah,
Fur
again.
is one of
Fur
those.
again.
I ain't again you.
I hope your soccer players watching.
Yeah, me.
This
this
has
is
been
as
classic
waffle as it
waffly.
gets. Yeah.
We're not again it.
I do. I think Southern Missouri because Boot Heel is different.
Boot Heel is southern.
They're Southern.
Bentonville, Arkansas will feel very southern.
Yes, it can. People from Arkansas to me talk more in a Southern, as in
Yes.
Mississippi, Alabama accent.
And Boot Heel as well.
Boot Heel does too. Ozarks is that's like a country accent. It's a different deal.
It's a little different, I guess.
It's different. I think we're the South Light. Yeah, there's definitely,
But we have more
It's
in
our own
common
culture.
with Appalachia than we do deep
yeah,
south.
but we're not as creepy as it is up in an Appalachia.
I agree. I agree with
Not
that.
quite as much banjo music.
I mean, yeah, it's we
have a banjo.
I
I
think
can
we've
play it.
adapted a little better.
A little bit.
I don't know. I still
Oops.
there's-
Yeah, again it. Thank you,
Again
Sue.
it.
I
Again
didn't,
it.
I didn't mean.
We-
I was
we knew what you meant.
But yeah, you said again, AGAIN. You're right.
Fur.
That's right.
Or again it.
Fur or again it.
How far are we gonna go?
That's another good one.
That's another far fur.
Fur.
That's the one that I still struggle with. I gotta
When
fix
we
that.
get it going.
Well, and yeah. R and our really have no distinction when we say it. It's, you have to spell it out. Are you going?
Well,
What,
you
are
really
those ours?
You kind of pick that stuff. I've started doing a lot of voice to text, and you really start realizing some
Yes.
of the weird things that you say and how you say things like serious, like it's not what I said.
So a friend of mine, this was back
You're wrong.
when all that was
Yeah,
kind of
same.
new. Even, I mean, we're going 10, 15 years ago. It was pretty new to have your voicemails translated over into text, but a friend of mine had early adopted that. And he said, Ballard, everybody else's comes out. Just so he goes, but it's the funniest thing.
I don't know what that hick was saying.
It's the funniest thing trying to understand what the text is when I get yours. Anyway, I just laughed so hard.
That's so funny.
But even the girls last night, the halftime speech, I said something to one of the girls. I'm like, "Hey, you need to have a pop." She looked at me and she's like,
Oh,
"I thought you were going to give me a soda. What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Shoot the ball, shoot it, have a pop." Have a pop. It was just like, but they make fun of me too because I say training instead of practice.
Uh-huh.
I'll see you training tomorrow. And they're like,
Training?
"You mean practice?
Practice?
Yeah.
Whatever."
what's training? Are we going to training?
Yeah.
Is something different?
Is this left over from all the time you spent in England?
I do, yeah. I listen to English soccer stuff, football, and
Football.
so
You pick it up.
I do. I pick it up and I don't realize.
Put
that
your
I'm-
trainers on.
Yeah, put your trainers on, get on the pitch.
Have a crisp.
Yeah, and then we'll go have a pop.
That's funny.
I'm so.
It is
confused.
amazing though. Like
If I start giving little Ted Lassoisms, like, can you imagine?
Oh, we
Take
need
the subway
Ted
to the
Lasso's world.
tube.
I love Ted Lasso.
Don't forget your brawly.
What were you saying?
I forgot now.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
gone.
Oh,
my
No, I was gonna say it is funny when you really get into a show or something and you're binge watching it that you start picking up
Yeah.
things from the show. That 100%.
Even if you don't say it, you're thinking.
Why I
You're
had to stop
thinking,
watching
yeah.
The Sopranos so much.
Oh my, yeah, you
Don't
can't
be
do that.
talking like that.
Yeah, anytime I see someone named Tony, I'm like, hey, Tony. Every time, every time.
Speaking of frozen pizzas, a lot of times.
Okay, I got something to float out there to you guys about frozen pizza.
brand
Totino's.
were you?
There weren't any.
Totino's. You went the
Totino's.
cheapest route possible.
No, we didn't.
Did you ever though go to the fridge and get like some extra things like
Oh, for sure.
cheese and
Yeah.
just make
Yeah.
that Totino's
Yeah.
a little
Elevate-
bit special?
elevate.
Sometimes
the
it was like,
Totino's.
it's like, oh yeah, and then you like put like ham and like American
Ham.
cheese.
Yeah, whatever you can
Slice
find in the fridge, right?
Throw them on top of that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Red Baron felt
Yeah,
like a
Red
special
Baron, that was
treat.
the-
there's
Yeah.
something about a Red Baron pepperoni. There's that taste. It's the taste.
Your mouth
You don't
stays
forget
there for a
those-
week.
The taste.
Those Totino's, the little bitty tiny cubes of pepperoni.
Yep. Were they pepperoni?
You know what I can't.
Oh,
You know
purported to
what's
be
always
pepperoni.
bothered me? The sausage. The little pellets of sausage.
Sausage pellets.
I have never.
Rabbit pellets?
I
or is that
can't.
sausage pellets? Not sure.
It. It's. I've never been able to get past that, and
fair.
I am not. I am a person who enjoys all kinds of food, obviously, but. There's some things I just can't get past. I'm no food snob, I guess is what
I
I'm
don't
getting
know.
at.
You sounded like it.
Rabbit pellet sausage.
Yeah.
It bothers me.
The cheese is like half a molecule away from just glue.
It
yeah.
is.
It's the
yeah.
same, basically the same stuff.
And you throw
A lot
it.
of
Put
wax
a little
in there.
salt in it.
I mean, there's something about that just bothers me.
It's fair.
Yeah.
It just has a look that I don't want to see.
But if you
on
want
top
good
of
pizza,
food.
go to Divine because they've got
They have
some
delicious
great
pizza.
over there.
We enjoyed the chicken bacon ranch the other day. It was very
I've not
tasty.
had anything
Still.
there that I don't like.
It's very
No,
tasty.
It is so
It's
good.
good stuff.
So glad to have them in town.
Yeah, me too. I still.
It
haven't
sounds like
tried
there's
that.
some more food truck options coming too.
Is that right?
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, I
Still
haven't.
got to that other one. That the burger-
I haven't been
burger,
updated
whatever
on
it
it, but it sounds like that they're coming.
Well, that's
so
good.
yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
Love all that.
now I'm hungry. Now I want some not, rabbit pellet pizza. So have to go get some breakfast somewhere.
Yeah. But I don't know.
I don't know. It seemed like there was one other thing I wanted to talk about, and I'm trying to think of what it was.
I interrupted you on the frozen pizza. I threw you off.
Okay. This is what I was going to say.
Jog your memory. Okay.
If you've ever been to Apple Market on any day, but really Friday afternoons, there's a lot of Amish people shopping in there. Okay, it's like they're done working for the week and they're headed back home, and they stop at Apple Market. And this last Friday, they were getting like 20 frozen pizzas. And I'm like, how do you, I understand that they have stoves.
Dutch oven?
Yeah.
I get that. How do you cook like 20 of them, though? Like 20 frozen pizzas. How do you cook 20 frozen pizzas?
Maybe they go to their neighbor and say, hey, can you bake these for us? And
so if anybody's ever been in an Amish kitchen, can you enlighten me on how they cook 20? And maybe they were like divvying them up amongst the household.
Probably so.
Well, they have freezer access.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
so they keep them frozen, I guess.
but do they... Okay, doesn't it run off of... Let's not be insulting right now. Does it?
I'm wondering where you're going with this.
But they're not plugged into electricity.
Yeah, I think a lot of them have like a freezer that's running off their neighbors.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know how that part was.
Well, like I get phone calls.
Yeah.
And they use their neighbor's phone. There's like I know
I've
people that
seen
live
that,
near the
yeah.
Amish community. They're neighbors with Amish, and they'll have like a phone in their barn that's the Amish can use.
The barn phone.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, I
don't
used to
know.
have the number saved in my phone. So I knew when they were
wood-fired
calling.
I'm so
pizzas.
sad. I think a lot of them have cell phones now.
Well, that may be.
I think it depends on how the different type. There's
order.
different types of Amish
Different, yeah.
people.
liberal
where
or
the,
conservative or wood. Thanks, Shauna.
but
Wood.
I get that they have like wood stoves and stoves, but I mean cooking 20 pizzas on a
While I keep the other 19 frozen, how am I cooking this one?
if
How am I
anybody's
keeping those
ever
frozen
been
while I'm
part of a Amish frozen pizza fest, let me know. I'd like to know how it works. And I'm not being a jerk.
Greenhouses.
Yeah, I don't think Old Springhouse is going to keep them frozen, though, right?
Just
I'm not being a
cool.
jerk. I just am curious. I don't know because I'm not. It's part of it's a culture around here that I don't know much about.
I think you should go spend a week on a Amish farm.
I'll pass.
Farm and
Pass.
come back.
I'm not
and
so
report.
sure that would go well for a number of reasons.
Nope. No thanks.
Namely, that you're a woman.
Mainly,
Yep.
And you're wearing jorts.
Yeah, the jorts would not go over there.
oh goodness, yeah. I don't think that'd go well. I don't think they'd like me.
I have a question. I don't mean to be offensive, but
Excuse me. I picture
Get out.
myself in the bonnet and the dress, and I just pop around the corner. I'm not so sure I agree with that.
I
And
don't
they're
know
like,
if I'm
somebody
I'm
get
not
her out
feeling
of
this
here.
vibe.
Tell her to leave.
Lauren offends them all in 60 seconds or less.
God, they're like, gosh, you're opinionated. Could you leave?
I'm not used to women being so, what do you say, chatty?
Good point, Shauna. Yeah. It's like, why is she talking? It's not Thursday.
Why is she talking?
Bad. Stop it.
Hey,
Stop it.
you started all this.
Just stop it.
All right, anyway, so
Oh,
Fortunately, they're not watching.
we're going to need to have a meeting about Sister Lauren. It's not going well.
Stop it.
she's been excommunicated.
The Rumspringa could not come.
Did
sooner.
I tell the story on air about what happened to Jesse and Sky Dragon several months ago? Did I tell this story?
No, let's go.
I'm not remembering
It
it,
is
so
the
tell it
most
like it's new.
awkward encounter I have ever witnessed. Okay,
Poor Jesse.
so Jesse's kind of I'm trying to think of how to describe him. Like he doesn't get too worked up about things, but he also doesn't like people messing with him. So he is not he doesn't default to, oh, that's funny. He's like, what are you doing? Like that's how he defaults. So okay, you guys have been in Sky Dragon, and this has been several months ago, and so we're sitting in the booths that are along the parking lot side of the building. Okay,
I'm there with you.
so someone walking up,
West
you're
side.
there. Let's go there together. You've got a plate of buffet food. Someone,
And taste
Join
it.
me if you will.
someone's walking up. They can see who's eating next to the windows, right?
Right.
So as they're walking across the parking lot, they can see who is inside.
Looking in the window.
So Jesse's sitting across from me. His back is to the door. So here comes some rather large Amish dudes. They're huge. Some of the biggest I've ever seen. And
Lauren offending all of the Amish community in case there was any left.
yeah. They're not listening. So
All out there.
I'm so sorry. Anyway, I am not trying to be a jerk. So they're really big guys. And, they have beards, right? Because they're Amish adult men. And so they've got big
Why
beards.
I'm not Amish.
Yeah. Is that where you're going on sabbatical?
Yes, sir.
So I'm seeing them walk up. And I'm like, gosh, those are some big guys. In general, it wasn't because they were Amish. They were just huge. And so they're walking in. And, of course, Jesse's not seeing any of this because he's not paying attention. And his back is to the door. And they come in. The girls are with us. And they are approaching us, looking at us like they know us. And I'm like, well, this is interesting. Why are they walking towards us with those gigantic grins on their faces? And I'm like, what's happening? What's going on? And Jesse, completely oblivious. And I'm like, they're coming towards Jesse. This is going to be awesome. What is happening? And at that time, Jesse had a full beard, and he's had an Amish beard from time to time.
Yeah,
he's dabbled.
yeah.
So here they are. They're coming. They're grinning.
Brother Zeb.
Yeah. Here comes out a gigantic arm, wraps around Jesse's shoulder, tugs on his ear. Not the ear closest to them, but the ear around.
What?
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And the girls are like, what is going on? And Jesse's just sitting there eating, and he's like,
He's wondering.
rage.
Did he
Like,
get punked?
he's like, why is someone touching my ear? Because it went around, almost hugging him, pulling hard on his ear. He turns and sees these two gigantic Amish men grinning at him.
Did he make this on? Did you record
No, I was just in my mind. I was
I'm on the
absorbing
edge of my
every
seat.
minute of it. I was absorbing every minute of it. And they're like, Daniel?
Brother Daniel.
Daniel
Jesse's like,
Yoder?
No.
hello? And they're like, Daniel. And he's like, no. And they just keep staring at him and
So
smiling.
they thought he was Daniel the apostate.
He was a mistaken identity.
From now on, we will greet Jesse as Brother Daniel.
I'm going to grab him on the ear and call him Daniel. Daniel? Daniel?
And I mean, Jesse looked like he was about ready to swing. He was hot about it. Because, again, Jesse does not like to be thrown into awkward situations.
Or have his ears touched.
He does not thrive in awkwardness.
Brother Daniel.
And they
Why are you
would,
sitting with this strange woman?
her children.
See how
They're
far you've
dressed
gone
like
in your
heathens.
apostasy.
He's got an whole English family we didn't know about.
And I mean, the look on their faces isn't like a friendly smile. It's like they're about to burst out laughing. Like there's some joke we're not in on their joke. They're not in on our joke. Nobody knows what the crap is going on. And we're in a mistaken identity
found
standoff.
Daniel's doppelganger.
Yes.
Wow.
So continue.
And they won't stop staring. And they're just and it gets awkward and the air is like the tension is building. And finally Jesse's like, I am not Daniel. I'm Jesse. And they're like, and they just kind of back away.
like
Bart
backwards, like
Simpson into the
backpedaling, kind of backing away. Like not turn and walk away, just like.
They're just kind of like. And Jesse is at this point beet red and irritated. He is not happy about
Jesse,
the situation.
I'd like to apologize right now for what just happened and what will continue to happen to you in the future based on what your wife just disclosed
Yeah.
to the public on the Morning Waffle this morning.
Oh my God. And I mean, our girls were just like round eyed, like, what is happening? And then it came to Lauren trying to control her eruption of laughter and not make a bigger scene. I mean, I was literally like face
Did you
down.
have something to tell me?
Sweating.
You getting up laughing, taking pictures with him, like, hey, you gotta,
This is our long lost cousin.
you gotta hey, get in here. Yeah.
And I would be like, and I mean, they were 100% confident they do jazz. So
Clearly,
much that,
you don't tug somebody's ear unless you're pretty darn
no,
confident.
and I mean, they literally.
Wet Willie, your younger brother.
I mean, it was so intense. For a moment, I thought Jesse was living a double life. I was just,
Wow. Wow.
and I thought, well, maybe like they ran across him back in the roofing days.
Yeah. So,
And
they
they've
didn't know him from
I'm
somewhere
like,
back
have you
in the
ever
day.
seen those guys before? And he's like, no,
No.
Lauren, no. And I just want to eat my Chinese fish.
More chicken. More cashew chicken.
So if you see somebody that looks like Jesse who's named Daniel, you now know why.
And Amish.
And Jesse may be living a double Amish life. I don't know. It's possible.
Well, it explains the beard.
Yeah.
Does
yeah.
explain the beard. It
Yeah.
explains a lot.
It explains a lot, doesn't it? Jesse's like, shut up, you guys.
His name is Daniel Yoder.
Jesse hates you. You're in trouble now.
Oh my gosh. Yes, that's my Amish story. It was
That's
amazing.
a good
Daniel-
one.
Daniel
No, you
Schwartz.
absolutely have not.
Daniel?
Daniel? Jesse, ask him about the frozen pizzas.
Yeah.
Come on, help us
Now
out,
that
bro.
you have an in, we need to know.
need to
How
know.
do you cook 20 pizzas?
Jesse, you can walk straight in and get this answer for us.
And like the people who spent a lot of time around Jesse heard that story and they're just like, what?
This changes everything.
It was so
Kinda
great.
I'm excited.
Oh man.
Well, all right.
Oh, and this will be your last waffle for a while. We better- yeah.
I'll
you're-
see you on July 23rd.
Okay. See you then.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Craziness.
July
and
23rd.
I'll look like an Amish surfer.
Yeah,
Okay.
We're looking forward to that.
Never seen Amish.
I
surf
don't know. I'm
before.
just thinking. I got the
I like that
Living
combination
in
though.
Amish
Swoop, I'm
paradise.
Okay.
I doubt it's going to come in. On
So
that
you'll be
level.
back on July 23rd. Is that right? Is that what you
July
said?
23.
Okay.
I believe that's a Tuesday.
Okay. Cool.
right,
We'll have a great sabbatical.
Thanks.
Yeah. Happy summer, everybody. Last day of school, and we'll be back next week without Chris, but with more waffle.
They'll be
More
back
waffle.
next
See
week.
ya.
I won't. You will.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.